Composite functions. Functions can also be combined to form composite functions, such as f g x. This can also be written as f brackets g of x, which means x goes into the function g, and then this answer goes into the function f. This is the formal way of writing it. This just helps you realise what order it goes in. Let's have a look at how these questions might be asked. So we've been given two functions, f of x equals x squared and g of x equals 3x plus 2. And we've got 4 parts to answer. So let's look at the first part. So f g x. So this composite function, the g of x is substituted into the f, like this. So all this function substituted into where the x is, and that gives you 3x plus 2 all squared. And this is your composite function. So for part B, all we're doing is finding the value of the composite function whenever x equals 2. So we'll simply substitute in x equals 2 into the composite function. And whenever we work this out, it equals 64. So the value of the composite function f g x when x is 2 is 64. Now we find the composite function f g x, now we're going to find the composite function g f x. So again, remember the order. So if you write it like this, it makes it easier. So the function f of x is substituted into the g of x function. So if you see, we have our two functions, f of x and g of x, and it's this one that is substituted into the x, where the x is on the g of x function. That will give us 3x squared plus 2. So just remember, g f of x, the f function is substituted into the g function, but f g x, the g function is substituted into the f function. But as mentioned before, sometimes it's easy in an exam to write this to remind yourself which is the order. So let's have a look at the last part. Now we've been asked to solve f g x when it's equal to 2 lots of g f x. So we have our f g x from the previous part and our g f of x from our previous part. Now the only difference, we don't just equate these two functions, we're actually timesing the gf function by 2. So that will give us 3x plus 2 all squared equals 2 multiplied by 3x squared plus 2. Now this part, we just multiply the bracket, which gives us 6x squared plus 4. And then for this bracket, all squared, we must make sure we do FOIL. So let's write it out in full. So we multiply the first 2, the outer 2, the inner 2, and the last 2, we end up with 9x squared plus 6x plus 6x plus 4. Tidying that up gives us 9x squared plus 12x plus 4. Then as it's a quadratic, we want to move all the terms to the left hand side and put it equal to 0. Now we can see that we can divide all the terms by 3 in order to make it easier to solve. So divide 3x squared by 3, 12x by 3 and 0 by 3, and that gives us x squared plus 4x equals 0. Then we factorise x squared plus 4x. And then we have one solution of x equals 0 and x plus 4 equals 0. And then finally x plus 4 is 0, therefore x is minus 4. And here are two solutions. Now it's your turn to answer some questions. Pause the video, then have a go. How did you get on? Here are the answers. If you answered any incorrectly, have a look back through the video and then have another go.